Hello, I'm Nathan Comiskey and you're watching Sporting Icons. I've got one of these for you.
All right, Matt, firstly, thanks for having me in your gym again.
It's a pleasure to see you again.
How is everything?
Yeah, really good, busy again. Just flat out really every single day.
So what's been the feedback and your thought process since your last show, was it just under 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah, positive feedback again. Some really good bouts on the show, I thought, as well. Good mixture. Good levels on the show as well. Remember, all these are just like novice pros starting out, you know, so hopefully on the road to bigger and better things for them.
So when you look back on the show, obviously, okay, let's start off with Nathan. Like you're like to you train and manage Nathan Comiskey. Did you know that he was going to go in there and just dog, stalk, just turn into a predator and then catch him?
Yeah, with that fight we knew the opponent pretty early on, so and I've knew Jake for a lot of years. I've watched him box. Once we made the match, I studied him. We put a game plan together, me and Nathan, and he went out and implemented that, you know. So and the shot that he caught Jake with, we'd just been working on that on the pads in the changing room before we came out, you know. The idea was to get out there, soften him to the body, and then once we hit a rope, to feint the body shot and come back over the top of the right hand. And it like, you can practice as much as you want, but sometimes it doesn't come off. But on that night it did, so happy days for him, you know.
I mean, if you look back on the two fights of Nathan, obviously I've seen both of them. First fight, he went the distance, and it was more like a technical, like a fight. In this one, he was just pure, I'm going to get you out of there. So already we're seeing two different sides of Nathan.
Yeah, definitely. Nathan's capable of reading a fight himself and adapting to what's in front of him pretty well. But also he's got more boxing skills than people give him credit for as well, you know. But once again, he's still a novice in the pro ranks, and like sometimes these fights happen where you can take that opponent out quick, and in some fights they'll go the whole distance, and you've got to adapt to that as well, you know. Not everybody you're going to take out there in the first round, you know. It's if everybody think they could do that, everybody would do it, you know.
And you're going to have him out again on April the 8th?
Yeah, April 8th at Raton Meadows, with joint show with Phil Jeffries. So looking forward to that, trying to keep the momentum going. So hopefully we'll come through that one as well with a win under our belt, you know. And
a word with Rico. Oh, sorry, a word on Rico. He didn't get the decision. Do you agree with the decision?
Yeah, I just sometimes you got to be like, honesty is the best policy, and like I've sat down with Rico after the fight, 1-to-1. I think the world of the lad, you know. He's still only a baby, really, you know. He's just turned 21. So we sat down. We've come to a plan for him outside of the ring, basically. Life skills, trying to juggle things. With uni work and working and then boxing, it just wasn't playing the part for him in the end, and I think it showed in the ring, you know. I think he was just a little bit too tired, and it wasn't because of his training. I think it's just everything in his life at the moment. So he's back on track now with his uni work. He's not working anymore either, so I'm going to help him out here a little bit on that side in the gym. So hopefully we can move on, keep his weight off him, get him down to middleweight, and then take it from there and take him away spawn a lot as well, so to get his confidence back up.
So when you're hoping to have Rico out again, because you said he's not going to be on that April 8th show?
No, probably looking around about July, August, and that'll give me a little bit more time to spend with Rico on 1-to-1 sessions, taking him away spawn. So I'll be taking him like up and down the country and hopefully get him a bit more experience in the sparring side of things, you know.
And Matt Stark McCallum, he's a character just like Nathan, isn't he? Now, obviously you don't train him, but you manage him, and obviously he's been on your last two shows now. What do you make of his performance against 150 fight Pooch?
Yeah, I thought it was another really good performance, and I think probably it learned Matt a lot in that fight. Hence why when we were matchmaking, these are the kind of boxers that we wanted Matt in with. To obviously, he's as tough as old boots, Pooch, you know, and he puts on a good display. He's a really, really tricky journeyman. You know, he doesn't come back to the rope a lot. He stays the centre of the ring. And he's clever at what he does, and hence why he's had 150 plus fights now. So yes, and a proper character, and Matt's a good character as well. So it was an interesting fight backstage and actually in the ring. So, but Matt done the rounds, which is invaluable for Matt moving forward. You know.
It definitely was. Jordan Barker Porter. The fight beforehand, she didn't get a decision on this one. She was looking for a comeback, and she was in with a pretty decent opponent in Karina Kopinska. What do you make of Jordan's performance? Have you watched it?
Yes, I think Jordan done really, really well. She proxed nice and relaxed on the night. Her movement was good. Once again, she had a pretty good amateur career, but a novice pro again, and to come back from the defeat the way she did, hats off to her. You know, she put on a really, really good performance on the night, and like you said, once again, and with the girl who was pretty experienced, and the girl at the end thought she had won it, but I give the decision to Jordan as well. I thought Jordan did deserve the win. Actually, really, I thought she boxed really well.
I didn't know until actually on fight night, until like a Daryl told me. Daryl Hall, it was actually 2 years to the day since he last fought.
Yeah, so Daryl as well, once again, didn't really know Daryl, a lot about Daryl, until a few months ago. Worked with him, was a pleasure to work with, have on the show. Lovely young man, and being out the ring so long, getting that ring rust off. Hats off to him, you know, and we're a pretty tricky opponent. Doesn't look much on paper, but paper can lie sometimes, you know.
There's actually another fight, and I've actually forgotten what it is. My brain's gone for some reason. But moving on to your next one, April the 8th, Rate Mills Arena, co-promoted with Phil Jeffries, your old pal. How many fights looking to have on that one? I
think we're looking about 8. So me and Phil are going to finalise who's actually on the show this weekend, run through things with Phil, see where we're at. The tickets have gone out now, so hopefully everybody get behind with support it. So looking forward to that as well. And it's an absolutely cracking venue, Rainton Meadows. So it'll be my first professional show there as a promoter as well. So I hope everything goes to plan and the show runs smoothly.
So when you look back at your last 2 shows, obviously you've now 2-0 as a promoter. How are you finding it?
Challenging, but I've got a good team around us with the other 3 Dannies who are directors in the promotion company with myself. Obviously, with me still coaching and managing as well, and still helping out with the amateurs. I'm busy all the time really in the gym, so the lads have took a little bit of pressure off me on the other sides of things, like you know yourself, organising like press conferences and medias and tickets and posters and getting lads out there, you know. So it's like I say, and that's an individual sport, boxing, but you've got to have the right team around you so you can do your individual things as a boxer in that ring, you know.
So after like a 2 shows, and I know that you said even before your first show that you ain't doing any of this for financial gain. You're doing it to help them all out. But is it? I don't talk about money, but it's not a great loss for you now because obviously you've got sponsors. And are you still looking for more sponsors?
Yeah, you can never have enough sponsorship money coming in because obviously you know yourself, the world of boxing is quite expensive. Especially at the lower levels when you're not getting TV, filming your shows and things like that. So to bring in local sponsors is massive. for these young lads to get out and start their careers. It's building the platform with them and running alongside local companies who hopefully will go all the way. A lot of these young lads have got bright futures, but to have them bright futures, like I say once again, it's the right team, and I include sponsors in that team as well, because them will run the journey with ourselves, hopefully.
So how many sponsors have you got for the last show? Are they all going to be sponsored for the next show, do you know?
It's obviously, like, there's no multi-million pound companies, unfortunately, sponsoring us. So what we're trying to do is we're trying like get a group of sponsors for one show, and then a group of sponsors for the next, and then they'll play in and out on the shows. So it's hard work, and I know people these days, especially with money being tight and things like that, and the price of things at the moment. But there's not a lot happening in the world either after COVID, so a lot of people could be sitting on a little bit of cash there that could benefit these young lads and lasses coming through and help support them in their careers.
How many shows are you planning on putting on this year in an ideal world?
We're looking, obviously including the ones I do with Phil for the joint ones, we're probably looking at about 5. So
5 more?
There'll be 4 more this year.
Okay, so 5 including
the ones. Yeah. So, and obviously, if any others come up, and any other promoters are putting shows on, and we'll get asked to get onto their shows, if it benefits the lads, then I'll put them on them shows as well. It's I would want to get them all out, trying to box quite regular. Trying to stay 5 to 6 fights a year.
Yeah, that's actually my next question, because obviously there's like other promoters with TV deals obviously coming up here, like Dennis Hobson, Sky Sports, Boxer, and Probellum, MTK, all that kind of thing. So if any of them were to approach you to say, there's a slot here for Nathan, there's a slot here for Rico, or for Andy, of course, or anybody else, for you it's not a case of, no, he's fighting on my shows. It's a case of he's available for you. All you got to do is just ask.
Yes, that's right. Like I said before, it's about building a platform for these young up-and-coming fighters, and we're lucky at the moment in the northeast that people are starting to put shows on. So there's a lot more professional boxers up here now than there ever was. So hats off to Dennis, Phil, Probellum, MTK for putting these shows on in the northeast. And obviously there's that many fighters, we can't get them all on one show. So hence why we came along with our promotion company. So I can guarantee at least my lads that they're going to get out and box, but at the same time we're open as well for other promoters if they need to get a lad out anytime. If they approach me, I will put them on our shows as well to help benefit their careers, because realistically our jobs, all we want is for Northeast to be shining and look great through the country and globally as well. That we can produce good boxers. This city's been all about football for a lot of years. So let's try and get the Northeast known for its boxing ability as well, because there's some talented young people out there.
It definitely is. Do you feel that there is a real resurgence? I know there's been somewhat of a resurgence in the past, but it kind of like went so high, but then just petered off again. But now it's higher than it's ever been, isn't it?
Yeah. I thought like a few years ago it sort of like it reached a really good level, and then it's seen a dip a little bit again. But then obviously these kids that have turned over, a lot of them probably would have turned over that little bit earlier as well, but with COVID hitting and things like that, I think that played a part of that as well. Plus a lot of the good lads who were boxing for the GB squad and things like that had commitments, and now once them commitments are done, you see them turning over now as well. So it's, for me, I think it bodes really well, and there's, like I say, there's a lot of amateurs out there as well who maybe haven't got the rub of the green as an amateur, because for some reason or not their styles just didn't really gel in the amateur scene. But when they've come to the pro ranks, they've done really well. So their styles suit. Maybe he's boxing as a professional rather than an amateur.
All right, Matt. It's good to catch up here again, and I'm sure that I'll be up here a few times. Are you planning on doing a press conference for your April 8th?
that's something we haven't decided on yet. If not, I know Danny was going to get in touch with yourself to come in and just do a little one and hear all the lads, who are boxing and all that. So hopefully Danny will be in touch the next couple of days with you, and you'll be able to do that for me,
Oh, nice. And when you're hoping to get like a full list of all the fights on, as in the home fights at least?
Probably, I would say early next week. And then I know there's a few being matched lately, and then there's a few pullouts as well. That's happened already because a few lads have been stopped over the last weekend there. But matchmakers are both on it, and hopefully we'll come from there.
Spot on. Thanks again.
Great. Thank you, Martin.